I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna share these, and then I'm gonna live stream some gaming. Um, Man, I gotta figure out my Kill Tony situation today too. I gotta make sure. I gotta hope Lulu's butt's okay. I can't really do a whole lot of moving around. I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm just maybe I'll just sign up for Kill Tony and I'll just hold Lulu. You know what I mean? I'll just hold him. I mean that's all I can think. I'll bring some wipes and I'll bring his medicine and I'll hold him. He'll be mad, but I'll take it. I'll give him his medicine before we go because we're only gonna be there maybe 4 or 5 hours. And he's supposed to take his medicine every 7 hours. But I hope this works because I can't. They gave him to me in pills, and he does not like taking pills. I fight him and this and that, and but by the time I get any of the pill in him, like it's all busted and it's all over the place. So it's like I don't fucking fight with him anymore. So I have a water fountain now for him, and I was like, you know what? I'll just take the capsule, dump the capsule in there, and I take the pill and I crush it up a little bit and put it in there, and hopefully it all dissolves, move around, working out. Now his medicine's in the water. Hopefully he gets his antibiotics and he can not be in pain so much. So I'm trying to get it in him however I can. Um, Make sure he doesn't get an infection. And I was asking if I should put ointment on it, and they're like, no. I'm like, okay, so just keep it clean and take the pills. I'm like, okay. Poor little guy's got a hole in his butt. Poor little guy got a hole in his butt. But yeah, and that's what I was getting towards the end of the last episode. I mean, that's like the reformation of like trying to create and make a gentleman. Like even though like you're messed up and you have all these crazy backgrounds and you're dirty and this and that, and you can do all these, you're just shady or you're from a different background. But and like I'm a nobody from nowhere. I'm a dirty guy. You know what I mean? It's like just a regular guy from nowhere. But I can, I can dress up, whatever. But you still try to learn common courtesy and respect and how to be a gentleman and kind to people and how to be helpful and like it's like at the end of the day, no matter what type of weird wacko individual special person you are or interest or art or this or that you're into, da 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 da, you can still be a gentleman. You can still open a door for people. You can still take your time and be patient and be helpful and this and that, and stand up for the right things and help people when they need help. You know what I mean? You just can't stand by. There's you can only be a gentleman for so long. Sometimes you just got to be a man. Sometimes it's time to just bring out the dick. You know what I mean? And just be like, hey, no, we're not standing for this. This ain't happening. There's time and place for everything. And I think that's something that people have forgotten and don't fucking understand. Certain people's places is like regarded as their space. You don't fucking just come in there and tell them how to fucking do their shit. You just don't do that. You don't come in and tell them there's something wrong with them, start making accusations and shit like that. Why are you saying that this way? To ask questions. Why do you why is that appropriate? Why did you say it that way? Because this is what this means to me. If you want to understand, don't just come right out and start fucking telling me I'm wrong and your way is the fucking better way to think and da da da. Talk to each other, explain, like understand why I said and did what I did, and I will explain the process to you. People don't want to fucking listen, man. It's crazy. It's like one of my favorite lines. Listen to me now, hear me later. You know what I mean? It's like, cause it becomes more applicable once you have a life scenario that you can apply it to. You know what I mean? It just when it sometimes doesn't click immediately, but then you'll remember what I said and whatever happened will happen, and you'll be like, oh, now it makes sense. Um, I thought that was funny. Um, I guess that's probably not a good topic for what we're this episode, but it was probably a better topic for the other episode when I was talking about masturbation and stuff. But it's the next note I have in here. It says coming before you get hard. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, but I have, and it's pretty wild. You just get so excited. Like I remember, like I said, I didn't masturbate for 2.5 years, and kind of debating on just stopping again, anyways, because it's just like I only do it every once in a while because I'm like bored or whatever, or like, oh, I guess this It's like, no, let's just go back to just not doing it again because it doesn't fucking matter. But when I was with my ex, I still didn't want to look at porn or anything. But like, she kind of like re-woke up the beast kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, whenever the mood strikes me, thinks me, I'm just thinking of her, and that's all I would do. I just think of her. You know what I mean? I'm just like, she's the only person I'm gonna think about because you know what I mean. It's like I feel like I'm cheating even if I think about somebody else. So I'm just thinking of her. I got a couple pictures of her. You know what I mean? And I would just start thinking of it. And I would just everything I want to do is really dirty and hard and fast and da da da. And I'm just like, go to the bathroom and just like, hurry up and get it out of my system and da da. But I'm just like, it's just like it's so exciting thinking about like what I want to do before I even get hard. It's like this like floppy like little thing and just still like and it like throws up. It's like this like and it like oozes out. It's like it's so weird. It's kind of interesting. It's like less trouble too though because it all just dribbles out and then you're not hard and walking around hard for a second. It's already fucking deflated. It's like I don't know. It's like I remember watching Kinsey. And Kinsey's talking to the fucking pedophile guy, and he's like, I can get hard and ejaculate in 10 seconds, and trying to think of his real name. The guy who played Kinsey. It's the dude from the Taken movies. You know who it is, and you'd be mad at me for not fucking being able to think of the name right. I'm just having a brain fart kind of thing. But what was I saying about him? Shit, what was I saying about him? Let's rewind a second so I can remember. I can get my memory back. I'm not that far into this episode where I won't matter if I lose a second or two. Oh my goodness, I'm so stupid. I was talking about him. How I powered it off. Great. Power on. We're watching Kinsey. And Kinsey's talking to the fucking pedophile guy, and he's like, I can get hard and ejaculate. Yeah, the Kinsey movie. I played Kinsey. It's the dude from the. And I was like, okay, so he can he can get hard and ejaculate in 10 seconds. He's like, impossible. I'm like, I could ejaculate before I even get hard. I could just like be like, just thinking about it. You know what I mean? And it's the only times in my life that I ever had wet dreams was during that 2-long year period of not doing anything. Never in my life. And like people would be like, "Oh, you're full of shit." I'm like, dude, I wanted to. I can't even get laid in my dreams. I've tried. Like it was like a running gag. Like I'll start to get hard and be with a woman or something and weird will happen in the dream, and then all of a sudden I just wake up or this and that happens. It just never happens. And it went until 39 years old, 40 years old, 39 years old, fucking sitting, laying in the bed and sleeping, and all of a sudden, oh, that's what it's all about. It's just like, oh my god, that's what all the buzz is about, kind of thing. It's like, holy shit. Oh man. The gentleman things and the morals and all that stuff goes a long way. We come from a different world too. Like I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's people that still abuse their kids out there and try to discipline their kids in certain ways and stuff like that. But it's like everybody knows the line, man. And there's no and ass whooping is not abuse. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like it can be traumatic and it will stick with you. Like you will not fucking man. I tell you. I got my grandmother's ass busting story on here right now, but I'll tell you real quick, 'cause I'm not sure. I know I told somebody recently, but I don't think I said it on the video. Trauma's a crazy fucking thing. It can affect you for so long, and you'll never even know it, and sometimes, and then it all like, oh, I don't have to let this bother me anymore. It's really weird, and like mine's just like a minor thing, but like it made me understand trauma that much better and understand, man, that shit goes deep. I can't imagine. You can imagine, you being like, like hurt or tortured as a child in a bad way and whatnot. And it's like, fuck, could you imagine the trauma? Because I was door dashing 5 years ago. I don't know how long ago it was, but I was door dashing. I'm driving to Wawa. I get there and I'm waiting for the order. And everybody knows, everywhere you go, any store, Walmart to fucking the gas station, sodas, there's stacks of sodas everywhere, 12-pack cases, or 24-pack cases are stacked. on each other. Sometimes in like crazy like designs, and sometimes they're just like first basic. You know, like to get to, here they are. You know. And there's some stacked up into Walmart, and I'm standing there, and like I didn't realize like all my life, like I like always avoided stacks of sodas, and I would never even pull the stacks of sodas or touch the stacks of sodas. You know what I mean? Because I was like, I did, that's a display. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'll go get the sodas where the soda aisle is. Like I never thought of it or questioned it. I just always just avoided stacks of sodas. And I'm standing there in the Wawa, and there's stacks of sodas in front of me, and it hit me, and I was like, because I was afraid to touch them, and I was like, wait a minute, I can, I can rest my arms on these. I'm not hurting anything. You know what I mean? I'm not bothering anyone. I can just sit here, rest my arms while I'm sitting here chilling. Man, and then oh man, I have been so afraid from stacks of sodas for so long. Not afraid, but just avoided them. It was like you don't do that. And it all goes back to the one time when I was a little kid. I don't even remember how old I was. Definitely still in elementary school. Probably not even in elementary school, but just young and hanging out at the store with my papa. I would just walk up and down the aisles. Me and my cousin would play games in our heads. We'd walk around with fly swatters and pretend we're Ghostbusters and fucking, you know, I mean, I was like, I like Bunnicula, the vampire bunny, and I'd go to the meat department area, and I would like, I like vampires and all kinds of weird shit. I'd break the plastic, and I'd like drink the blood out with my finger and stuff like that. I don't know that if they ever caught on to me doing that. I would only do it like out of one, like every once in a while, you know what I mean? So they never really noticed something. Um, but I was in the back in that area one time around where the meats were and stuff, but he had stacks of Pepsis there. I had another memory come up, and I climbed up it, and I wave across the store, hey, Papa! And he's like, you get down from there, and he walked all the way across the store just like as fast as he could, just like that, and you get down from there, and by the time I got down, there he was, and just wailed into me, you don't ever go up there, you don't ever do that, da 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 da. That's the only time he like really busted my ass, and I never touched stacks of sodas ever again. I drank sodas, but I never touched a stack of soda again. It's pretty fucking wild and crazy. That store was cool too, and you try to learn your lessons and listen to your parents and your grandparents when you grow up, and some of that shit just don't make sense to you, and you gotta fucking figure out for yourself. I was in the back of be in the back of the store sometimes, and where he'd slice the meat and do all the deli prep and the other meat cutting and stuff, and I'm back there, and there's always this little transformer box on this wall back there, like not the wall. It was kind of like a column, or almost. It was like a part of a wall. Yeah, like you walk through this way. There's a little transformer box down here on the bottom. Right behind you is like the walk-in cooler. They always told me, "Don't touch that. That's hot." I'm like, all right. And just in my head, you know, I'm playing video games now growing up, you know, when you had Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When you plug these games in, you didn't just plug them in. They were like a box fucking size plug that you plugged into the whatever, into the wall or into your octopus surge protector, whatever you call it. My mom always called it an octopus. Um, So in my head, I'm looking at this transformer, like it just looks like one of my fucking game plugs I plug in. It can't be hot. Hot doesn't make sense. I'm old enough to understand what fucking hot means. There's no way. So I reached down and I touched it, and boy, no, it wasn't hot. But the pain and the tips of your fingers and that vibration, and it shoot back and hits you in the elbow and like push you back, and I pushed, like my back was up against the fucking walk-in freezer, you know, it's just, electricity, baby, is powerful shit. But like that fucking hot shit, that makes sense to me. I was old enough to understand, you know, you tell kids hot so they don't touch it, and it makes sense to a kid, but at the same time, it's like, I figure out things, I had a logical way of trying to figure things out and understand things, and that's why I had so much trouble understanding God when I was 11 years old. You know, I just accepted, and went until I was 11 years old. I started asking questions that the youth pastor didn't really know how to answer, couldn't understand, give me a good, solid answer for, and that was logical. It made sense to me. And you know, the Royal Rangers teacher couldn't do that. And both these people like are big parts of my life still. Like I don't really talk to them, but like my mom was just talking to Miss Sharon not too long ago, talking about how one of her daughters lives out here, and my godparents live like a mile away or whatever, or not a mile away, like an hour and a half away. Um, but it's interesting because like those two people who couldn't answer my questions came full circle to help me out later to get everything to click all back together. But yeah, because that was interesting. Because I'll just talk about that in a second. Um, could never answer my questions. Drove me crazy. And you know that's probably a story for another time. We'll get in. We'll make one specifically about my testimony and stuff another time because that's not a 4 minute story. Um, Team America Morals. We've spoken about that. Like I said, like some of these notes, I just kind of like trying to collectively remember certain things at random times and like making sure I'm putting together right. But you know, we talked about that concept of what a dick and a pussy and an asshole is and all that stuff. PragerU and Women Thinking Study. I'm not sure if I mentioned it here. I know I mentioned it on stage, but I want you see the commercials on your phone. Sometimes they pop up, PragerU or this or that, whatever. And usually it's just skip. How many times skip, skip, skip. Which favorite? What button do you probably hit the most? Is skip. You know what I mean? Oh, we have it. No, you don't skip. And we'd like to tell you to shut your fucking mouth and skip. You know what I mean? It's just like skip, skip, skip. But the PragerU thing, I was like, when those ads popped up, and John Prager was talking, they've done a study with men and women, all this, it's just like, he's talking about one specific one, but I'm sure it's this general study that's been done many times over and over again in different places. But you ask a class of students to be silent for 5 minutes or so, and after the 5 minutes, the teacher goes around the class and they ask each student, well, what were you thinking about during those 5 minutes? You were allowed to think about whatever you wanted. What were you thinking about? And all the men and boys will always tell you whether they were thinking of some sort of sexual activity or they're thinking of some sort of sporting event or activity. Where the girls were usually always thinking about conversations, past conversations that they've had before and future conversations that they intend to have and things that they wish they would have said and things that they want to say and da 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 and remember when that girl told her that and I'm like watching it like freezing up like what the fuck does that make me, you know what I mean, because I'm like I'm not gay but I don't fucking walk around thinking about fucking sex and sports and shit all the time. I literally all I think about is words and conversations, what to say, how to say it, how am I going to structure this, how am I going to put this together, should I say that way, I should have said that way, I wish I didn't say that way. Oh, maybe I can apologize and then maybe I can get them to understand this, maybe I can, it's just brain just doesn't fucking stop. It's like you have to get used to like your brain running this fast all the time. Like it's not easy. Like they try to give you drugs and all this different shit to balance it out and da da da. You just have to learn to work with it. Like it can be overwhelming. I just get headaches all the time, but now I've understood how to just like keep just running, and it's just like a machine. But as part of the anxiety too, and I have to try to help kind of balance and like let go and have control of too, because like how many times I forget what I'm gonna say, and I can't remember it, and I will fight. I will spend 10, 15 minutes trying to fight to remember that memory or that thought or that thing I was gonna do, and it's tough. But I'm taking a lot of things that help, supplement wise to help clear the mind and stuff, and it's really really helpful. I've been bumped in the head a lot in my life. I cracked my head open before I had heart surgery at 2 years old. I mean, I used to let people punch me in the head because I thought I was tough, and I wanted to show them how hard my head wasn't tough, and I'd bang my head on stuff all the time just to show how tough I was. Lockers, walls, this and that. I got hit in the head with a baseball bat one time. Oh my gosh, dude, slammed around, beat up, and then car accidents, and then this last accident where we get struck in the head with a girder. I think that was just like the last fucking straw. It's just the last time I needed my bell rung, fucking for Gilligan to fucking change. You know what I mean? Like I just was a different person after I got hit in the head. Still thought and felt the same things. It's just my brain just fucking doesn't work the same anymore. I had to like reconfigure how to fucking think almost. It's pretty wild. We're 20 minutes in. So the next note was clarifier, special, intricate, detailed words for purpose and reason. Um, words. There's a reason why we emphasize special certain things, and we add and make sure we have clarifiers to make sure you totally understand things. But people refuse to listen. They refuse to read. It's heartbreaking. But I mean, it's crazy. There's not. There's a lot of people out there that are capable and have the capacity to understand and comprehend so many things, and then you come across so many people in life, and you're just like, wow, man, I'm so sorry. I wish I could help teach you how to tie your shoes, but you know what I mean? It's like way too late. It's like not that specifically, but you know what I mean? It's just can't help everybody, and there's a lot of lost people out there. There's a lot of confused and simple people out there. Just they need help. They need a leg up to understand things and to and we do need places to keep people and help them out and stuff like that when they're not capable of taking care of themselves, and but we can't just let everybody just die. It's a fine line. It's an interesting balance. We do have to have some social net structures to help people, but we can't we can't be socialists. Anyways, it's way too long now. God bless. Take care. Thank you for your time and patience with me. Till next time.